Today's Tuesday, January 6th, and I'll be turning back tonight. It's about 11:30-ish at night, so it's like I'm been in the rhythm of vampires, like training. My sleep patterns is way off, and so is my work, and my whole entire schedule's off. So just trying to understand how to get back in the swing of things. That's the hardest part for anybody to actually stay consistent, because it's easy to train, but once you start traveling a bunch, and you got to pack your food, and you live out of a suitcase, there starts to be a variable versus you work a normal job and you have a normal schedule and so forth. So for people that doesn't travel, it may seem like, oh, that sounds like excuses, but for those of you guys that never did it, try it one time. You see how difficult it is. Anyway, with that, I'm going to start with lat pull downs, and I'm going to go with the flow. How many sets? Probably about 16 to 20 working sets. I'm going to pound the hell out of my back tonight because it's on. It's the 2015 season, and I got to bring my A game and bring a new physique to the stage. So, with that being said, I'm going to unleash the shit out of this beast. With the lat pull down, I'm going to warm up. It's cold outside, like 32 degrees, and it's like pretty much freezing. So I'm going to warm up about 3 or 4 sets, and I normally do about around half my body weight or a little bit more to get the body really warmed up. And as I'm standing here, it looks like I got good balance, but I got my right knee right there, just leaning. So that's my support tool, because I'm leaning like Michael Jackson. And I don't have super wide grip with this stuff. But just put my arms over my head, that's my grip. Because I'll go wider with the back, but this is my strong focus point. I'm on 12 reps. That's what I'm throwing. And if you notice, I started on my chin to my nose level. I don't like going out all the way to my chest. I may go more full range with certain other exercises, but this is what I do. And you know, a lot of people may say perfect form is your chest, but from here to the chest, you bring a lot of your biceps into play. And it just depends on what works for you. I mean, try it, give it a shot. Anyway, I'm gonna have about 3 or 4 more sets of this, but I'm just gonna film like warm up. First working set, tell you what's going on, then the last working set. So after a few warm-up sets, now I get it on 200. This is going to be my first working set. And I'm going to keep going up from there. I'm just going to keep pushing my body to the limit. How many reps? I'm going to aim for 10, not 12, 10, so I can go heavier each set. And just keep on pounding it. And like today I'm going to do like middle reps like that, and I'm going to go extremely high reps, such as 20, 25 on certain. So you'll see it's going to be a really weird pattern. It's going to do heavy weights with volume and a lot of sets to really hit the back from all sorts of angles. That being said, first set 200. And I'm using an overhand grip. And this still, I can go heavier. I'm just showing you that I'm going to control. Not fully warmed up. I feel a pull in my right bicep. I mean my left bicep, my left tricep. So I'm gonna go up maybe 10 pounds each time until it warms up. Because you don't want to really, I don't want to risk. There's always a risk of pulling something, but I'm gonna less likely to pull. You gotta train on the safe side, sort of. This is my 5th set, and for the lineup, final one. It started at 200, then went 210. 220, 230. 230 was my 4th set, and the full sack's 250. So I rounded up. So instead of like doing 10 more, I decided to go 20 more and do the full stack. So that's my thinking how I do things. It's full stack Tuesday. And so I had all 10 reps. 10 reps are going fine. So this is pushing it to the max here because like I don't weigh 250. So I have to like Spider-Man sort of jump wheelchair style to sort of get in the seat to be able to do this right. And I'm using wraps, as you can see, that's around me. And why? It's So my grip isn't that strong to hold that, because I wouldn't be able to just basically attach myself to the bar so I can focus and pull down the bar. Alright, but it's psyched myself up. This is a lot of weight for someone in a wheelchair. Alright, let's do this. But not for me, because I'm the beast. No, 3. I can still touch my chest if I want to. 3. I know what you're thinking. That must be a fake weight right there. And there were sound effects. I'm about to put my arm out of my saw again. I did it for the glory of being the best. Oh. For my next exercise, I'm going to do pull downs behind the neck. Now with this, I'm going to stop at ear level. Kind of like when I do a front right here, and then behind the neck, I stop at ear level. But not by the bar, but where my hand is here. Because if I grab it here, if I hold it straight like this is 1 inch higher than right here. So when you see me pull it down, it may look like the bar is like here, but my hand's right there. So it's ear and by ear level, that's what I go by. And whereas like when you're doing it front, I lean back. So when I do behind the neck, I'm more vertical. So I pull down, like it's gonna hit the back differently when I'm pulling down straight up versus leaning back. So there's a big difference in these two movements, because now I'm going wider and more straight up versus closer and leaning back. I can still go heavy behind the neck because I'm Nick Scott, but it's just I like this exercise. And there's people say this is the worst exercise to do, but this is one of my favorite ones to within my back, like a cobra. I get up 200. I did a 12. That's going to be a first set. I don't know. I'm thinking about 4, but 4 sets. But it just varies how I go and how I feel about this, because that's how I do my workouts. For my final set, which is going to be 4 sets, because I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to do more lat pull downs later in the workout, but I'm just going to do 4 here. But for this set, it's going to be filmed from behind, so you guys can actually see roughly how I'm actually pulling it down, where I'm placing my elbows, where I'm placing my hands, and so you guys get a feel of like where I'm actually pulling it down and what it looks like from how I do it. So with that being said, this is what it looks like. Transition, and now I'm going to do with the machine row. The lat pull downs will within you from like a cobra, like your shape will be wider. So like doing rows will thicken you from front to back and develop your back differently. So I'm going to do 1 set of like, one exercise with a row really heavy, and then I'm going to do more volume. So this I'm just going to push my limit or whatever, and I'm going to start off somewhat light, and then I'll work up to more weight. Because when you transition, you got to be careful so you don't go He-Man strong and then tear a bunch of crap. So people get the stuff. And it's not always about weight when you train. It's about time and attention, also blood volume into the muscle, and it's about how many sets, how many reps. And there's a lot of factors. You just got to understand how your body works to the best combo. That's the secret, because this is all about you. I'm going to aim for about 10.
reason, I prefer to do this without wraps. When I do pull downs, I use wraps. I don't like them with wraps. But this type of movement, I prefer to do them without wraps. It's a preference. And my grip is strong enough, I feel, to hold this. Because it's really difficult. It's just this, it's difficult to hold the wraps in place. This, I'll use wraps. This, I won't. I'm weird like that. This is my 5th set. Actually, first set was 25, then 10, 10, 10, 3 10s. When I went to 3 10s, it was extremely difficult. And I got like 6 reps, so I'm backing down to 2 10s plus 25. Now, this may not seem, it's like 2 45s on each side. This may not seem a lot of weight, and I don't think it feels like a lot of weight. But when I do the exercise, it's heavy. There's machines at other gyms I can stack on like 6 45s on each side to do. But for some reason, this machine, how it's angled, I don't know, it's difficult. And it's extremely heavy. I mean, I can max out like all the machines pretty much, from lat pull downs to like other stuff. But this is a beast. And it's like, how it's like the angles and, you know, it's set up on a pivot point and stuff. It's just difficult. Anyway, with my little 2 cents right there. All right, with that being said, let's rock it. Doing this, it's not about just going from lifting the weight here to here. If you just lift it, you're not going to get the results you want, because you got to really focus on the squeeze. I'm not focusing on like lifting the weight. I'm focused on bringing the weight to me in my back. And then when I go down, I focus on wrapping my shoulder blades around here to get the stretch. So we'll squeeze back, wrap it. Squeeze back, wrap it. That's where a lot of people get mixed up. It's easy to just go boom, boom, boom. You just lift it with everything you got. Lift it with the arms. Look, I did it 20 reps. And you're like, well, who saw that in the gym? It's not about that, it's about building muscle, because you gotta really contract the muscle, relax the muscle, contract it. And you gotta tear it down from all different angles, so when you rest and recover, it'll build muscle fibers in all different areas of the back and other muscles that you train specifically. So that where I'm getting at, concentrate on the muscle contraction fully, whatever you're trying to angle for. Like this, I focus on specific parts of my back. When I did the previous exercises, I focused specific parts of my back. So then I got other exercises I do to target specific parts of my back. And together with time and rest and recovery, my back's going to develop more and enhance over the years, like a progress, like I have. That's where people get mixed up. It's not about lifting. It's about understanding how to tear down the body correctly and efficiently to work for you.
For my 4th exercise, I'm going to do a cable roll, but I'm going to use straight bar underhand. So this could be a underhand cable roll, or some people call it a reverse cable roll, or you just call it whatever the hell you want row. It's a cable because you're doing a rowing with a cable. Previous exercise, I was doing a rowing with a machine, hence machine row. So education, there's a little tip for you. And if you do it with free weights, it can be a free weight row. We're going to call it, but then I look over here, I'm about to adjust the weights and I see these things. You're like, well, what are they? You see them up here. It's the first time I've seen it. This is additional weight. It's 2.5 pounds. So I was thinking, I wonder how many 2.5s could I fit? See, that's when you think outside the box. But first, I need to hit the 300 mark, but I'll just leave the extra 2.5 here and 2.5 here, and that adds another 5 pounds. But what's funny is this little plate right here, this is like 10 pounds. But this, both of these together, see the difference? These together are 2.5 pounds each. So when I put them up like that, that's only 5 pounds compared to 10 pounds. Now tell me how they figure that crap out. And this is pretty heavy. So I'm like lifting this up and this feels lighter than this, but they're calculations. Whatever. Anyway, we'll just say that's an extra 30 pounds. Illusion, right? So I got 160 plus 70, 80, 30. So this is 210 pounds. Alright, so gotta get my gorilla grips. Right here, and I just do that. Whoa. Start at 10 because I want to go heavier. I want to get in like 200 or something like that for second or third set, and then I'm going to do 2 sets of high volume. So I'm going to take off all this crap and just focus on about 100 pounds or so, 100, 120, and rep it out. 20, 25 reps each, which you'll see at the very end. But that's my strategy. Now I'm going to go more volume to really flush the blood into my back from different angles. From a row to a cable, and then the finisher. So I went up to 200 plus extra or whatever, and then I did that for one more set, and then this is my 3rd burnout set. So it's not really a burnout, I could do more, but I'm stopping at 20. We have one more exercise I'm gonna do after this, the same kind of principle. And people do drop sets, well, some people maybe go 200, do it maybe 6 times, then do 160, then 120, 100, 80, 80, whatever. And they'll just keep lowering the weight plus keeping the reps up there. But this is a different type of training than that. Which one's better? There's not one that's better, it's just what you're trying to achieve. And you gotta experiment with everything to see what your body responds to. It's like it's not a cookie cutter workout where one thing works for everybody. Like all the stuff that you guys are watching and following, it's not, maybe it doesn't work for you at all. Maybe some of you guys do it. Because this ain't wheelchair CrossFit. Because that's a totally different kind of concept than a female wheelchair bikini competitor. Like she could train the same, eat the same, guess what? She's not gonna look the same as me, because we're different. And God created us all different to be unique in our own ways. So, be you. Don't mimic me. Might learn from me. Learn from others. Alright. I mean, 20. So there's 2 different ways to do this. Stretch it like this. Coming back here. See, this is version 1. We just go right here. They're 2 different, the same exercise, 2 different versions. 6, 7. I'm going here, so when I go backwards right here, it'll bring some of my lower back into play. That's what I want. So, doing this kind of stuff, you got to know the purpose of each version, technique, and how you can like sit back further. You can almost go sit way back here. You can go like this and be almost doing like a pull down, because it'd be the same type of movement. So instead of you sit like this, you're just like leaning over like Superman, but the resistance came in from the same point, which is over your head.
So you got to really understand the movements to get the full effect of what you're trying to achieve. Out of breath. This is going to be my final set, final exercise. I'm just going to do one set of this, rub it out about 25 times. That's the plan. So this is on 120 pounds. So this is like less than half of what I was doing. But this is the close grip, it's a neutral grip. And my arms are more forward, so it's going to wrap my lats around front more. So this actually hit the back totally different than the other two lat exercises that were pulled out. So I'm just going to sit here, lean back, and just get the rhythm. I'm just going to put this in the fingertips, that's why I use wraps. Just on the rhythm. Really concentrate. Squeeze. That concludes my back workout. It gives you like more of an in-depth about what I do, why I do, and how much I do. Again, just learn from other people, and this is just like more of a, the more I do this, the more it's like educating you guys, so you guys can enhance your, your results, your career, whatever you're trying to achieve, so you can see it from my perspective. My perspective may not work for you, but it's worked for me. And after all the years of education experience, I know what works for me and what gets results. So find your happy medium, learn what you're trying to achieve and your goals. Because I have one specific goal in mind, that's just to be the biggest, the best, period, end story. So feel free to leave comments, subscribe, like, share with your friends, share to really help others and get better, especially in a limited situation, especially sitting down or limited to different variations of exercise. Until the next workout, again, Nick Scott from Beast Coaching, nickfitness.com, wheelchairbodybuilding.com, speakernickscott.com, adaptfit.org, and I can list like another 10 websites that I have every time.
The Wheelchair Athletics Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit that provides and supports disabled athletes. Please support our cause. Volunteer, donate funds, mail items for the eBay store.